And welcome back to the Portland Papers stream. Getting ready for round two of our $100 cash invitational tournament. It looks like we have Steve Sun on the left here. Beat Is It Phoenix round one versus Luis Herbosa on Burn. They beat Tron round one. What do you think? Who do you think's favored in this matchup, Sam?
I think Dredge by far, especially with the new Mulligan rule. I don't think Burns gonna take a single match.
Yeah, I would tend to agree with you. I think Creeping Chill is a very hard card for Burn to beat anyways. I think the matchup used to be pretty favorable for Burn. Dredge just wasn't quite fast enough, but now you just get so much more time with these free lightning helixes that are just in your deck.
You've played Dredge, correct?
Yes.
So now you can keep your 4 Shrieking Horns in this matchup and bring in your claims.
Yep.
And you just get so much extra value as far as life gain,
yeah,
plus the chill.
I think that there's just it's very hard for the Burn deck to win. I think they have to be extremely lucky, and the Dredge deck has to whiff, which is very unlikely.
I don't know. Is he playing Rest in Peace?
I'm not sure. I don't have access to the sideboard lists. I'm sure our viewers do via the Cardboard Live extension.
I do know he's playing Path of Exile as he pathed my Ulamog. Game 2.
Dang, that is quite impressive. Yeah, I played Steve in round 1, and game 1 I got there, which was surprising. And game 2, I cast maybe a misinformed Ravenous Trap, thinking that I was getting their one enabler. Wasn't quite good enough.
Didn't want him to Dredge.
Yeah, so they cast Cathartic Reunion, and with it on the stack, I cast Thought Scour them to put the third card into their graveyard. And then I got it, and then the next turn they had Cathartic Reunion with 2 more Dredgers, which is something that can happen. I thought I was kind of shutting them down and that they would be kind of anemic after that, but they weren't. In game 3, I got them all the way down to the precarious 1 life total, and then they saw the line and killed me.
That's the surgicals over the gut shots for you right there. But surgical's definitely way better in that matchup.
Yeah, I think that the Is It Phoenix deck is really well positioned right now, but unfortunately 0-2 in this tournament. So, all right, players are drawing their hands for game 1 here.
I didn't see.
I didn't see who was going to be on the play.
Yeah, I saw 7 from Dredge.
Looks like a probable mulligan from Steven here. I don't see a reason to keep this hand with the new mulligan rule. We can just do so much better. 1 land is really hard, especially. I guess there's a Faithless Looting. Could be.
There's also a Shriekhorn, but 1 land in Dredge if he doesn't hit the second land.
Oh, we kept. All right.
All right.
We're off to the races. Looks like Herbosa is firing advantage into Goblin Guide, giving Steve that much-needed second land. And I think now we're going to see the Dredge deck go. Ooh, really rough draw there on the Narcomoeba, though. Really would like to see that card stay in the library.
I would rather draw Narcomoeba over Creeping Chill, though.
Yes, that is true. I would rather have that in my hand. A little unfortunate, no way to really capitalize and put them back in the deck. Only can really discard them.
It's probably going to be a Shriekhorn, yeah.
As Shock might be relevant later in the game, though. That 2 life could really matter.
Depending on his top 6.
Second to Inspiring Vantage, attack with the Common Guide reveals Stinkweed Imp.
Oh, that's
which means we're definitely going to be dredging next turn, at least 5 cards. Ooh, Eidolon is very good.
He's going to have the Faithless Looting as well. Let's see what he gets here.
Ooh.
Pretty good.
Interesting here. Upkeep, going to activate again here. 2 more. Definitely pretty good. I think if I was in this situation, I'd be taking the Imp. Don't really need the Loam right now. Would much rather maximize our chances to hit a Creeping Chill here.
2 more Dredgers, though.
Yeah, it looks like we missed on the Creeping Chills. Definitely have some redundant dredging now.
He has 9 on his Faithless Looting.
We also are still at 14. I think we're going to go to 12 here, though. Cast that Faithless Looting. Oh, 1 Creeping Chill there. 4, 5, and then looks like we're going to dredge 4 more here. 1, 2, 3, and 4.
So he has 2 Bloodgeist, I believe now.
2 Bloodghast, 1 Amalgam, and we hit 1 Creeping Chill.
Yeah, so 1 point life swing here because of the Eidolon trigger off of the Faithless Looting.
Interesting. I think we're going to play our second land here and pass the turn.
That's not a bad start.
I think, yeah, Steve's pretty favored from this position, I think. The board presence is super good. We're going to dredge 5 again. Or, I guess we didn't discard that? I guess we discarded the Amalgams. Huh, why is there a Amalgam still in the graveyard?
Yeah, I think he missed that trigger.
It's very interesting as to how that would have happened.
Those would also trigger that as well. The instant.
Yeah, it's not a May.
Yeah. That should be triggered right now.
Yeah. Interesting that he missed it when he did realize the 2 there. Oh, another land. Can't argue with that. Get in for 4. Gonna put Steve down to 11. Being above 10 is a good feeling against burn. Especially with only 2 lands, there's no real way to get burned out from that position.
Does he only have a 3 dredge? I think I see a loam.
I see a loam.
Dark Blast,
Dark
sure.
Blast is also 3. There's 2 loams, it looks like. Okay. Yeah. I'm still so curious about how that prize amalgam got missed.
Yeah, it's staring right in his face as well.
Wait, what? Yeah, what?
I'm
What's happening here?
I'm very confused. I think he's now realizing.
It's in the end step, but yeah, will you stop the? What is he? What is?
I think he's.
Yeah, there's very clearly been something gone wrong here.
He needs red mana, I believe. So.
Yeah, I don't.
Casually a Faithless Looting.
Pretty interesting line there. Haven't quite seen that one before. I know in the last match we saw a Faithless Looting come back from the graveyard to attack, and this time we saw a Faithless Looting get searched for to create mana. So
a lot of uses for that card.
Card is so versatile.
I think that's why people might want it to be banned. You know, it's not
pretty
only a
busted.
land, it's not only an enabler, but it's also a creature. Alright.
That counter needs to be removed from that Shriek Horn.
So he has his dredge 5 here, so it's probably.
I think he just dredged the loam to get that.
I thought that was a string card.
No, he activated the Shriek Horn first, and then milled Narcomoeba and a land, I believe.
This does life if you need to adjust life totals.
Okay.
So Lewis has 2 open mana here, and this is probably he's gonna have 1 more turn.
This is gonna be tough. There's no Conflagrate in the yard, so we're not too worried about lethal.
So how many? Let's see. He charms him to 6, then he just has bolt.
We have flashback on looting here, though.
Oh, okay.
We have the 3rd land we know about from the Goblin Guide, which gives us 10-ish looks at another Creeping Chill.
Yeah, if he has flashback, I'd just do that now and then hit Creeping Chill, and that's the game.
Well, I mean, I think you can kind of do it either way. Doesn't really matter which order you do it in. I think if you attack here, that's 13, puts them to 4. I don't see a Conflagrate anywhere. So there's a little bit of I mean, the rich get richer sometimes, but not in this scenario, I guess.
I believe he has like 8 or 9 cards in his hand.
Yeah, I do like keeping 1 back as a blocker, just kind of hedging. However, I do think that if you had gone for the Creeping Chill first, if you hit 2 chills, you just have lethal.
Yes. I think it's an easier decision if you do the looting. You're going to do it regardless. I'm not sure.
And it's not like you're playing around counter magic or like a cryptic or anything like that, yeah.
Did he not hit a 3rd land?
He definitely has a 3rd land. I think we're in the combat step here, considering maybe helixing Prized Amalgam or something like that. Herbie's Herbie's a very deliberate player. Doesn't really rush to do things. Oh, looks like there's no blocks, no effects. So we're on Steve. Steve down to 9. 9 being a pretty important number. A multiple of 3.
Yeah.
Reduce the clock by 1 turn. But if we hit a creeping chill here, we're gonna really make it hard for Luis to win.
Yeah, that's why I like the looting before combat, because
a Skullcrack here would also be very good.
Take him down to 4, right? If he hits a chill, that would have been lethal attack. He would have had to reply by killing one of your creatures, saving you 3 points of burn.
Yeah, also on Luis's side, a Skullcrack here would not be the worst, like in response to the trigger. I'm not sure if they're on that card, but
Did you get the Eidolon trigger
I think they might have missed the Eidolon there as well.
He didn't hit a chill here, so I imagine actually Burns gonna take this.
Helix down to 4.
With, is that 4 cards in hand with a 5th card?
Yeah,
I
it's
imagine
really
it's-
unlikely that we're not going to see
Yes.
Bolt here.
Yep.
Go to 1. Yep. And that I think that was the difference too with the Amalgam attacking. I think that we locked them out of playing a second spell.
Exactly.
However, they did have 4 power of attacks.
That's
so
true.
a tough spot to be in for Burn for sure. And contrary to our beliefs, Burn up 1-0.
Yeah, I did not see this one coming.
I think that the Burn deck gets a little bit better post-board, probably playing some number of Rest in Peace, Grafdigger's Cage, something along those lines. They typically do. I don't know what Dredge would want to bring in here. I think the Nature's Claims is something that is not the worst thing to bring in, and maybe is not super intuitive to bring in. But I think I would bring in all of them, just because I'm also kind of scared of Rest in Peace.
Yeah, I would definitely bring all 3 claims in. He might be playing 4 and then a 1 Assassin's Trophy. I think that's a typical. I can't really see what he's got.
Yeah, it's 3 in 1. I know that. I built the deck for Steve today, so.
Oh, okay, you know it. So
yeah, it's 3 in 1. A little bit of a more versatile answer with the Assassin's Trophy.
Yeah, I've seen recent lists go up to 4 claims, 1 Assassin's Trophy with a 2 to 3 Ancient Grudges. Just really kind of all in on their strategy.
I think in a world with the London Mulligan, you'll see maybe even some more versatile sideboards, more 2s and 1s. Not just in Dredge, but in general, I think you'll see more of them, just because you can aggressively mulligan to find them and pretty much be guaranteed to find a card.
Yes. One of the cards I used to love in Dredge was Vengeful Feral. Doesn't quite have an impact as much as it used to.
Yeah. I remember having to play against that card and being...
Yeah.
It's a hard card to play against.
Yes. It's great at locking out creatures. However, Graveyard Hate is pretty much packed by everyone nowadays.
Yeah, Dredge has been tier 1 for quite a while now, so it's quite interesting. And here we see Vengeful Pharaoh. The ability is much more relevant than the casting cost or anything like that. Whenever combat damage is dealt to you or a planeswalker you control, if the Pharaoh is in your graveyard, destroy target attacking creature, then put the Vengeful Pharaoh on top of your library.
Yeah.
And because you're a Dredge deck, it just gets put right back into the graveyard, and it's basically a Doomblade every turn for a creature. However, you still do take the damage, which is kind of rough.
It's definitely a nice card against like a black-green or...
Yeah, it was super good against the things like that. I think it would actually not be terrible against humans.
Yeah.
But it's just so hard to make that card super good when you can just be more hyper-aggressive and streamline your deck list.
I agree. Let's see here.
So, Steven on the play, I think that it's going to be very interesting here to see how exactly things go. I think, obviously, still favored.
You can see last game he would have definitely won if he was on the play.
Yeah, that was definitely a mulligan.
Yeah, no lands. I thought.
No lander. A trick with this deck too is people will convince themselves to keep 1-landers.
Yeah, I know.
That's really hard. I mean, a 1-lander on the draw with Faithless Looting,
yeah.
maybe. But you really need 2 lands to operate, which is a little counterintuitive. But you really need to be able to life from the loam to get the lands really flowing for your deck, and then you can flash things back.
Yeah, and often the looting just doesn't do it for you. But if I had a looting and a shrink horn, I'd probably keep a one-hander.
Yeah,
I believe that's
I think that was the hand last
Yeah.
game. I think it was perfectly defensible.
Yeah.
Maybe the light's getting to Steve a little bit.
Yeah, it's candle lit here, I believe, right? Is that the...
Yeah, no electricity in this house. Here we see a one-lander on the play. No faithless looting. I think this is a ship for sure if I'm Steve.
Yeah.
All right.
It's going to go down to 5.
Luis
still
still evaluating their 6.
It's always 7.
Oh yeah, there's 7 cards
Yeah.
in the hand, but evaluating if to keep and if so, which to put on the bottom can be a tough decision to make.
Can we explain the line?
Yeah, go for it.
And just something for our viewers who are maybe just turning in. This tournament is being run with the newly announced London Mulligan rule that hasn't been put into effect yet. They're going to try it at the PT in London. So each time you mulligan, you draw up to 7 cards, as you originally would, and then after you have decided to keep, you put X number of cards on the bottom of your library, where X is the number of times that you have mulliganed. So here, Steve is looking at 7 cards. This is the second time they've mulliganed, so if they decide to keep, they are going to put 2 cards on the bottom. Oh, we are
Ooh.
mulliganing pretty aggressively here.
Wow.
So now we're going to put 3 cards back if we decide to keep this. Really might might display the actual power of this this new mulligan rule here. Dredge only really needs 3 cards to get going.
He needs an enabler, hopefully 2 lands, and the looting or a cathartic.
Yeah. Looks like we might have a keeper here. I think there's a Shriekhorn all the way at the end there.
Mm-hmm. Is that a loam?
It is a loam. I think I would ditch the Golgari Thug here and keep the loam.
Keep the loam.
Because the loam can be put into the graveyard even if
Yes.
there's no target. So even if we
Slow
whiff, we can still start going.
Yeah.
Alrighty, looks like we're gonna go Copperline Gorge into turn 1 Shriekhorn and pass the turn.
So these 6 cards are gonna have to be pretty good.
Inspiring Vantage, Goblin Guide, same start as last time. Reveals a land, which also helps with the
actually really
Shriekhorn
good.
mill.
Yeah. And he can actually get value off his loam.
We missed with the Shriekhorn, hitting a Shriekhorn in a land, activate again, hit a Narcomoeba. Not quite
Not
what we were
good.
looking for.
Mm.
Really wanted to find a Dredger there. However, we are going to be able to cast that loam and get a land back. 2 lands,
Yep.
as a matter of fact. And
Did he draw for turn?
I'm not sure. I think we might have actually had a missed draw for turn here.
Yeah. How many cards are... I can't really tell with the black sleeves.
Yeah, I think it's 3 in hand right now. I know at the end of last turn there was 2 cards. I think they did draw.
Yeah. It was pretty quick.
There's only 2 cards. Yeah, it looks like they did miss their draw step. Oh, that is
Ooh.
really good.
Really good pickup, too. I think I'd wait on that.
Yeah, I think I would also
Yep.
wait. I think Loam is still just get the engine going.
He has a blocker, too. I would definitely be blocking.
Oh yeah.
Especially...
Oh, that is definitely not allowed.
That's the 3rd land.
That's the 3rd land on the 2nd turn.
That's the 3rd land.
Not quite allowed to do
Yeah.
that.
Wasn't a Faithless Looting land this time, though, so...
And this is getting really awkward. We're
Getting-
drawing cards and putting cards in the graveyard.
Dredging, yeah. This might take a few moments to reverse. We'll see here. It's also unfortunate because those are probably going to go to the bottom, and those were not too bad. He would have had a amalgam, like two guys. Not sure how they're going to handle this.
Not quite sure either how we're going to go about doing this. The looting is in hand.
Mm-hmm. He can't cast it, I believe. Yeah, because he loaned. Unless there's a second looting?
So the loam will resolve. The looting should be in the hand here, though. The looting is in hand. Ian, will you let them know that the looting is in Steve's hand? It's not in the graveyard.
Okay.
They drew it for the turn. That should be in the hand.
It.
Okay, I think they're resolving it here.
We have Judge Travis on the case.
Oh, there's two
Oh,
lootings,
the looting. I
so-
think then the second draw was his second looting.
Gotcha. Yeah, because he put prized Geist.
So we're casting loam. We're gonna get back to 2 lands, and then we're gonna pass the turn. Is
Alright.
the end result
And
of
then
this?
shuffle it all.
Little bit of an interesting turn here. Not drawing a card and then playing an extra land, but a little bit of pressure being under the camera lights can get to you sometimes.
Yes, the candlelight is very
The candlelight
Very
and the
taxing.
kerosene lamps.
yes.
Be a little tough sometimes. Searing Blaze. Pretty good play
Yep.
from Herbosa here, really maximizing the amount of damage we're going to be able to get in with that Goblin Guide. Has drawn Steve 2 lands so far. Alright, looks like we're gonna activate.
So he's
Hopefully
down.
hit something. Oh, 2 Cathartic. That we really don't want to dredge or put those into the graveyard. We
Yeah.
really want to draw those.
Let's see what we get here.
Another Narcomoeba. Not the
Not-
best, but also still not great.
Is that a... Oh, that's Lightning Axe.
I think we loam and then
Loot.
loot. I think that would be my line here.
Because you gotta do something.
Yeah, I mean, if we loam, we get to dredge 3 and then possibly hit another dredger.
Anything at this point, I think.
Yeah, we
Versus-
really need to hit something here on this first dredge, though.
Yep.
Also, I don't think I would play the mountain there. I think I would have played the Copperline Gorges. Now it's going to enter
Yes.
play tapped every time. Once again, missing on dredgers. Really unfortunate. Probably going to discard loam.
This is a really unlucky...
Yeah, just the only dredger we've seen is the loam so far, so it's been pretty unlucky to not hit a second dredger there on roughly 10 cards.
No good.
However, still above 10. Not the worst spot. Can still next turn hit 1 to 2 creeping chills
Yeah.
and be very, very good. Especially with that faith looting, we can flash it back. Looks like we are going to dredge a thug.
Mhm.
So
He's not going to die here, so he'll definitely have another turn. He's going to want to hit a creepy chill, get some sort of a board presence going. We'll see. But,
interesting here.
oh,
Got suspended Rift Bolt.
I don't know.
Lava Spike. Gonna put Steve down to 10.
This is kind of telling that he doesn't have a skull crack because he's kind of going all in on his burn right now.
Yeah, trying to maximize the usage there. So this will be interesting. I definitely want to dredge here because we're going to hit the second dredger. There's something to be said for maybe drawing if you want to keep the dredger for the loam. Essentially it's the same thing, but gets you 1 card deeper.
I think he's definitely flashing back Faithless Looting.
I think there's no question about it. It's the only way that we're going to be in this game is if we flash it back.
Has a... If,
I think
is that
playing
only the one land?
I think the problem is that we played the mountain last turn, which stopped us from being able to
yes.
keep up the lightning axe
Could've
without having
axed
to.
that, dropped his other enabler, then guaranteed 2 dredges.
Oh, we hit a creeping chill. That's a start.
Yes, and he hit another loam.
Hopefully we hit 1 more here. Oh, there
Yep.
it is. Speak of the devil.
Double chill.
Gaining 6 here is going to be pretty hard for Luis Herbosa to beat, especially with only 2 cards in hand. We're going to be at 16.
Do you shock in that blood crypt and kill that goblin guide, or what's?
I think we just take 2, like,
you just take 2?
because we can just.
Well, he does have a fetch.
It's
but
possible-
There's only
it's
2
possible.
mountains, I believe, in the list. Typically
Yeah,
for
there's
dredge.
only 2 mountains. I
He
think.
shocked it in, so it
Yeah, I
looks like
think
he
if we
is-
had sequenced our lands better, we would be at 16 instead of 14.
Mhm.
A little bit of an oversight, but
With 3 lands as well, he could Burn could untap with a Swift Spear, double pump it, which is something you would probably want a Lightning Axe. You just
Yeah.
don't want to take all that extra damage.
yeah, I think shocking the land in is probably correct. Just you wanna keep that up. The Conflagrate is also going to be pretty good next turn. Can kind of clean everything up.
Oh yeah.
A Bolt end step here, put Steve back to 11. Don't really know there's a way for Luis to get there. 8
How many
here.
cards in hand? 1?
1.
Yeah, he can't.
Oh, he can. 2 burn spells plus the Goblin Guide would be lethal. But we do
So-
have the Lightning Axe. So we are going to
Yes,
cast Lightning Axe. Discarding a land. So now we are in the safe zone
He
here.
does have to pay mana for that, though.
Yeah.
Sure.
I think it was
won't
just kind of a
matter. Yeah.
shortcut. We didn't end up needing the mana for anything else, so. Dredging 4 here, hoping to hit another chill would be nice. No chill, but we do hit the prized amalgam. We also haven't returned that Bloodghast for a few turns, which is, I think, correct. I think we want to kind of sandbag it a little bit.
Yeah. He's probably just going to flashback again.
Yeah, I think flashback looting is the correct line here. We can flashback looting and possibly play Conflagrate from the yard if we really want to.
I think I'd just flashback looting, see what happens, and then I'd play a land, trigger Bloodghast, guarantee my creature board.
Absolutely.
Because the Conflag wouldn't be...
I don't think that the
powerful.
damage right now is that powerful. I think we kind of want to be conservative with our life total.
Because he didn't play that turn 3 copper line, he's not gonna probably have 2 mana untapped here.
Yeah, I think I like playing a land, returning the Bloodghast, triggering the amalgams, and then Faithless Looting.
I think I might face the looting first, just to see if I can get more. I guess the amalgams will trigger your extra.
Yeah, they'll trigger on the amalgam,
Yeah.
and it also, as weird as it sounds, I don't know that Burn is playing it, but if there is, say, an Anger of the Gods, it plays around that card as well, which is something to be said.
Yeah.
If you can play around it, you should, even if it's an unlikely thing. It looks like we are going to cast a Conflagrate here, though. We loamed, and we're going to Conflagrate here.
Interesting. Setting up for a really big turn. Not sure.
Well, I think that we present lethal the next turn, right? Because this is 5, put you to 9.
And then he plays a land here.
And then we have 2 amalgams in the yard, or just 1?
Oh, he's gonna get hasted.
Yep.
Only 1.
That'll
Though.
put you to 7.
So that is lethal next turn.
Well, we only have 5, but I think we're kind of going all in on hitting a Creeping Chill,
so
which is it's just a fine line. I think
Boros charm, or
we're gonna dredge. We're gonna dredge a lot next turn.
Yeah,
We're gonna dredge upwards of 12 cards. The likelihood we hit a chill is like very high. And if we hit a Bloodghast, it's like it has haste.
Sure, you would have lost to charm, but I think just flashing back Faithless Looting is a safe bet because you're still gonna have lethal next turn.
Interesting here. We can also Conflagrate here for lethal.
Mm-hmm.
We can loam Conflagrate. I think I would attack, maybe. I mean, it's hard, because like, if you hit Bloodghast, it's good. Maybe we attack, see if they're going to answer it, put them to 2. Then we just know that Conflagrate is enough. Unless they have Lightning Helix. Helix being the only card.
That's true. Helix go up to 5.
Put Steve to 5 as well.
And then you get to untap with 2 cards. Burn.
I think we need to not overdo the Conflagrate here.
Yeah.
Yep, Helix.
Yeah, see, I still would have looted just because you have 2 chills left. And
So
it
we're
just
gonna
puts you into an
we're gonna stay at 2.
Yep.
But we're at 5 with 1 card in hand.
The looting just guarantees almost. Yeah. All right.
Oh, that was the game. All right. Looks like we're gonna go to a deciding game 3.
Helix was a good call though.
Yeah, Helix is a pretty. The Dredge deck has a bunch of Creeping Chills. The Burn deck really wants to be able to reciprocate with some Lightning Helixes, change that life swing back in their favor.
Mm-hmm. Take away 3 points of damage, gain 3. And that was a Mulligan down to 5, I believe. Or was it 4?
I mull to 4.
Okay.
But with that new Mulligan rule, really helping out there.
Really helps decks like Dredge and Tron and.
Absolutely.
I don't know what it does for control though. I wonder if you can shave a land, knowing that you could kind of sculpt a cantrip 2 to 3 land hand.
Be interesting to see how this last match goes. I think it's pretty dependent on the number of Creeping Chills that are drawn.
Yes. Creepy Chill, or if he has a claim, tree corn opening. Those are pretty much what he wants.
Looks like Luis is using the restroom. He'll be right back.
What's the other match that's going on?
The other match that's going on is going to be Jeskai Control versus Green Black Rock.
Okay. Alright.
Who do you like in that matchup?
Jeskai.
I think that, honestly, it's very close.
Yeah.
I think that the Green Black deck has a way of getting in there before the Jeskai deck can really like set up. I think the Planeswalkers are very important on both sides.
I think the turn 1, turn 2 discards are also really important.
Yeah,
Just
I
to
think
strip.
Inquisition into Thoughtseize is very, very important. If we can take a Search for Azcanta into take a Jace, and like all your hand is just cantrips and a couple of removal spells, we can fight through that.
Yes. Remove, or disruption into Lily is really hard for control to come back on. And then turn 4, hopefully slam some threat or double threat.
Absolutely.
Jund does have a little better reach, I feel like, in those matches.
Yeah, Bloodbird Elf being very, very good against Cryptic Command decks.
But Black Green is very consistent in what it does.
Be very interesting to see how this goes here.
London rule, I'll be on the draw. Actually, breakthrough in Magic Scene. It's better to be on the draw now.
Each player looks like they're drawing their 7, evaluating whether they want to keep or not.
Looks like Burns gonna keep.
Looks like Burn is keeping. Steve's still evaluating their hand, whether or not they want to keep.
Yeah, this new Mulligan rule for Dredge is gonna be
It's pretty
just pretty
bonkers. Like
amazing.
it's the thing is like if you have like even like a mediocre hand, like this is fine. It's like it incentivizes you to mulligan hands in order to like possibly have a very powerful hand. Like this hand looks like a very slow hand from the Dredge side.
Mm-hmm. It's playing it with it. With
looks like
Tron though, it was like you know how Tron can mulligan so well.
Absolutely.
Naturally, with scene 7, it's almost impossible now to not have a turn 3 or turn 4 Tron.
Absolutely. Looks like we had a turn 1 suspended Riftbolt from the Burn player. That's kind of what you want to see as a Dredge player. It's a slow start.
Yes.
You like to see something like that. Looks like we have a turn 1 Treecorn from the Dredge player, which is always want a turn 1 play. Not quite the I prefer Faithless Looting, obviously.
I don't mind that if he's got a claim or something like that, because he's gonna get double value from that.
It'd be interesting to see whether Steve brought them in or not. I didn't see any last game, so we also didn't see that many cards last game. So
there's the Rest in Peace.
Rest in Peace
Makes
it'd be very interesting to see if we brought the Nature's Claims in now.
Yeah, we'll know if it's just a concession right away. That card has to be on your radar.
The way
if you're
Steve
Dredge,
is handling this means that there are no Nature's Claims in the deck. I think Steve is evaluating, do I have outs? What can I possibly draw?
Okay.
Milling the Dredge player. Milling the Burn player, I mean.
Yeah.
Hitting 2 burn spells.
This is
3?
maybe the
All right.
maybe the line is mill him out now. I don't know. He does have the mana confluence, so he can't play his creatures.
It's hard to mill me when we're maybe digging for a specific spell, and if we mill the Nature's Claim.
Yeah, I don't know if I even activate Treecorn, to be honest.
Yeah, I think there's definitely merit to keeping it in case we draw the Nature's Claim.
I want to find claim.
I think that there are no claims in the deck.
Oh, okay.
That would be why I wouldn't cast it here.
Yeah, if you did have the claims in the deck, you have to cast the looting because you have to see more cards. Otherwise, this is going to be over real quick.
This is going to be interesting though, because Luis looks like they kept an underpowered hand on the back of
no creatures
on the back of the Rest in Peace power. So we could take one here, play a 3/3, which could be very good if there's not say the 3 damage to the creature, 3 damage to the player. Searing Blaze. Yeah.
Yes.
If there's no Searing Blaze here, this could legitimately race, because we're down to 2 cards on the burn side. Steve just said that they did not bring in Nature's Claim.
Oh, okay. That's
I think an oversight on
Yes.
the burn player side.
For sure. Dredge is almost always right to bring in at least a small number of claims almost in every single matchup.
Yeah, I think that is the #1 most sideboarded card.
Every deck has Graveyard Hate, whether it's ranging from Grafter does nothing, but relics to bombs to ley lines to rest and peace. I mean, there's no deck that's not running a card like that, and your engine is cut off so. Like you see what's going on right now, like he's casting Bloodghast and Prize Amalgam.
Yep.
5
We
life.
have to get very lucky here to not die on
I
the next
imagine
turn.
he's dead here. Because you know he's got, yeah.
Down to
I would
2.
even.
I mean, we have to get so incredibly lucky with the amount of draws in a row.
Yeah, so Vern's going to take it against Dredge. I don't think anyone saw this coming.
That was, I think, a big oversight on Steven's side.
Yes, the claims have to come in, especially against any.
Even the weird synergy of like play Shriekhorn, blow it up is like I think worth it enough, and then
4
you add
life.
in the fact that like there's a white deck that
Yeah,
like
white.
and like the white burn I know personally has been playing Rest in Peace for a while, so
Mhm.
there's no real reason why they would be off of that. So
Yes.
quite
You
interesting.
have to. If you see white, it's almost immediately. You have 3 claims. You can bring in 1 to 2 to 3. You have to have at least 1 in your deck. There's no
Absolutely.
sideboard that exists in Dredge without a claim, in
Absolutely.
my opinion, after game 1.
Well, we're gonna step out of the booth here. We'll have the next matchup of round 2 for you guys shortly. I think it'll be some different commentators for that one. So it was great talking to you guys, and we'll talk to you later.